Okay guys, meant to start the camera a couple minutes ago. Judy and I flipped this sheet over, but before we flipped it over, I have to narrow this sheet up just a little bit, about a little over half an inch, and take some off the end because these sheets are 10 foot tall. The walls are just a little over 9 foot tall. So this cut, and then it's going on the wall right over here. So there is a round light box up there. I'll have to locate that and cut a circle in here. And then that sheet will go up there. I can't really go much farther than that. I might be able to get one more sheet if I pull some of this stuff out of the way, but I might hold off on that and move to another area first. But I'm not gonna be able to just do that whole wall right now because the sheet of drywall, or the stack of drywall back here is just gonna be too close to work back there. But anyway, we're gonna get one up here now, and I think instead of moving all that stuff out of the way right now, I'm gonna switch and put more over there after that. But like I said, this top sheet here was brown side because they stack them face to face together to protect the good side. So while it was upside down, so if they're face to face together, then the back side is up. I scored the edge and scored the end where I'm going to trim them. So this here is already scored on the back side, so it's already ready there. Feels like I could stand and put the blade on here. Then I gotta spin it around because it's the other edge that I gotta take about a half inch off of, and it's scored on the back side already. So I gotta flip it around, score the top side and break that off. I'm gonna start using up some of those pieces too. We've got some pieces of drywall. Some of them I can use, some of them I'll have to throw away. But I hate to throw them away too early because you might end up needing them later, you know? Especially the bigger ones. Okay, now this edge here has to be scored. Let's do that. One thing nice about this wall, I don't have to worry about being too fancy with this placement of the screws or anything like that. The seams are not getting mud on them, or what we're doing is we're putting some corrugated metal up about 4 foot high. These walls are just over 9 foot tall down here in the basement. So we'll bring corrugated metal up about 4 foot high, so the other 5 foot will be slats of wood going this way. We're probably going to use like 3 or possibly 4 different types of wood. So you have kind of different colors of wood, and the slats varying in length and varying in width and stuff like that. It's going to be kind of a neat looking wall. Got 5 lights that'll go down through here. We've got some neat looking lights to put on there. So stay tuned for all that. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. If you do enjoy this kind of content, if you're not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. We appreciate all of you. Have a blessed day. Bye. Hey guys, I don't know if I ever explained this to you before or not, but you see the galvanized strips on the wall there. They're 18 gauge galvanized, so a little bit less than a 1/16 of an inch thick. And I had them sheared up at a friend of mine's shop in Kalamazoo. But when we designed this house, it is a big footprint, bigger than we should have built. And one thing they said was there was 2 walls in here that they wanted supported so they could not flex because of the span and everything like that. So this was one of them. And there's a main one upstairs running east and west, this one downstairs. And so what I did is I put the straps on there on a diagonal, crisscrossing back and forth and everything. And then I also did extra walls in the house too with that same method. That way, if a twisting wind comes, it's not going to be able to twist the house or rack things back and forth. It's going to stay nice and solid. So that's why you see the straps on there like that. And right now, I'm getting ready to start on putting another sheet of drywall over on the end of it's like a broom closet in the bar there. We're going to have a closet area there, and I'm going to do an end sheet on there right now. There's a light up there and an outlet box on the bottom, switch in the middle. I'll take you over there and show you what we're going to work on. Now, one thing I did notice on this one here, one of my straps, this one running this way, it's got some pucker humps between where the screws are. So apparently I got 2 screws in, and instead of it going straight, I probably kind of bent it, bent a little bit, made it pucker. So I'm going to take probably 3 screws out of there and change a little bit. I think what I'll probably do is I'll leave the screw way up in the very top up there. I'll take out that one there, and down there, and I'll just swing this whole thing out. It'll swing out and up into here somewhere, and I will re-screw those. Get it nice and tight, so it's like a banjo string kind of thing. Right now, if you look at it from the side here, you can see it kind of bellies out a little bit. We're going to take that same up here, bellies out. We're going to take that out and get it nice and tight. Otherwise, it really wouldn't do a whole lot of good. What I'm going to do is I put some black marks on where the strap was, just so I can, just for comparison wise, in my own head, so I can see where I moved it to. And not that it really matters where I moved to, as long as it's tight. But yeah, we're going to make some changes. Okay, let's see where we want to put this thing. Oh, I need to go get myself a drill bit. What I did last time is I drilled a hole through the strap, marked it on the wood, and then I took a bigger bit and kind of countersunk the wood just a little bit, and took a big, like a prick punch, held that over the bigger hole and smacked it. So it dented that in. It's got a big dimple in there. That way these screws will set flush. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. So where I put my holes, I drilled the hole first. Then I drilled a little bigger hole, just below the surface a little bit, just countersunk it kind of with a bigger drill. And then we put that on, and then I hit this held it over the hole and smacked it with a prick punch, nice wide head prick punch, and dented it in. And when the screw goes in there, it sits nice and flush. Got that big old dimple in there. Works out pretty well. Okay, guys, I know some of you are thinking, man, he started insulating a while back and he hasn't been back up there. Is he not filming it, or is he not doing it? He's skipping all over the place, one thing to another. Yes, I am skipping all over the place, but doing drywall is something that you can see with your eyes, kind of gives you a pick-me-up, helps you do the stuff that you don't like to do. That's why I'm getting a few sheets of drywall up down here in the basement. And we get to see it every time we come down here to work, and it just makes you feel better, because you get doing electrical and plumbing and stuff like that, and rat runs up in the roof, and you're working on and on and on, insulating. It's a never-ending story. But yeah, so that's why I'm doing a few sheets of drywall. Helps give me a little pick-me-up, makes me feel better, walk around and see something instead of just wires back in the wall or plumbing or something like that. I got to get back on that insulating upstairs. There's a whole lot of it to do, and it would help the downstairs be warmer while we're working down here. It just help help us not spend so much on gas to heat the floor to work in here and stuff like that. So I do need to get back at it, but right now, a few more sheets of drywall, get some off the floor out of our way. It does our mind good to see the pile of drywall getting smaller and some walls with some drywall on them instead of just wall studs. That's why we're doing it. Self-indulgence, I guess you might say. Pick me up. So let's see here. Probably about like that. There's that. Now, that'll be much better. I might even put one right there too. Maybe I'll put a pop rivet through there or something. I like it. Oop. Gotta grab my drill. These things can sometimes try to crawl on you, and I think that's what happened before. See, this is where it was before. What I want to do is get some marks on here so I know that it's not moving on me. There, now I can tell right where it's supposed to stay. There. Now, this is what I was using to dent those holes in with. I don't know about you guys, but I like old tools. Half the tools I've got are tools that my dad gave me when I first got into the apprenticeship program. He was a sheet metal worker too. I've got pairs of vise tongs and vise grips and rivet sets and stuff like that that were his back when he got in the trade. He was born in 1925, so he'd be almost 101 right now. Yeah, I like old tools. There, we got a little dimple in there. And then what I also did on some of them, I took a countersink and actually countersunked that a little bit too, but I think the drill will pull it back, the screw will pull it back in there far enough. Now, let's actually I'm going to take that off of there for a minute and punch this one back in there a little bit too. That's a lot better. Okay, guys, I just made a sketch of this sheet here. No numbers on it yet. All I gotta do is get some dimensions, fill in all those dimension lines, and then I can go cut the sheet of drywall out to fit there. That's what I did on that other one. That circle up there fit just perfect. What do they say? Even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while. Well, sister and brother are playing, and Mama came to yell at them. Sky was the firstborn. He's the tan one. Oh, I couldn't tell you for sure where Oakley fell in line of the 7 pups. Runt on the right was the very last one, and he almost didn't make it. He was the tiniest one, and he was barely breathing. He was a lot of, Judy and Kaylee worked a lot to keep him going. But he's probably the heaviest one out of all of them now. He's pretty cool. He's mine. One blue eye, just pretty cool guy. Okay, sorry, got sidetracked. Dogs are playing. You guys quit. See, Oakley's smaller than Sky, but she keeps going after him, trying to get him to play, and he'll spar with her a little bit. Portia there, the Australian Shepherd, she's the mom of all of them, although they don't look like her. They get playing too hard, she yells at them. Just wanted to give you another tip. Some of you might already know this, but just a good habit to get into if you're trying to make a bunch of things all line up on one piece. I'm taking every dimension on here up to the center of that hole, rectangular hole, this hole. Everything is going to come measured up from the bottom, and I'm using my shim that I'm going to put under the sheet. I don't know if you can see that down there or not, but there's a shim down there on the floor, right down there. And so I'm putting the shim on there the sheet's going to set on. I'm measuring everything off that shim. So I measure up to the bottom of the rectangular box. I measure again up to the top of the box from that floor. Over here, same thing. So measure from the shim up to here, from the shim up to here. Put the shim over here, measure up to here, and then up to here. Same thing here, up to the center there from that shim. And then I'm going to measure off this right-hand side over to this side of the box, and then over to this side of the box. Same thing there, same thing in the center hole. Everything's off of this side or off the bottom. Don't come off this side for some measurements and that side for the other. Some off the bottom, some off the top, because chances are they're not going to work out good for you. Take everything off of a common starting point for your horizontals and your verticals, and it'll help you out a lot. Okay, guys, let's get this laid out here. Get a couple things out of the way. Oh, whoops. Sorry. Got a little varmint gun hanging out. That's a nice little varmint gun, too. 22 410 over under. Works nice. It's mostly for woodchucks that like to chew on wiring under your truck. Stuff like that. Okay, let's see if we can get this thing over there. I said my weight restrictions are off for now until the second surgery. So let's see. I do not have my steel-toed shoes on, so gotta be careful. Let's see. I think I'm going to have to turn this a little bit.
I gotta go this way with it. Whoops, I got a thermostat wire up there. Okay, whoops. That one's fitting. That one's fitting. And that one's fitting. Cool. That one don't stick out. Oh, there's a wire in the way on that one. But I can go ahead and get screwed, a couple screws to hold it. Okay. Okay, guys, cross your fingers. We got a square hole here and a round hole there that are supposed to line up. Oh, maybe. I gotta get it up there first, though.